Hi everyone, if you're watching a recording, do fast forward about a minute. We're gonna get started there, getting everything up and running.
Hi everyone, if you're watching a recording, do fast forward about.
Kill that noise off. Sorry, I have my speaker on. Okay, that's great. Okay, we're gonna get started here. Can you believe it? I'm on 5 channels today. I know. Can't seem to always get Twitter up and running, but Twitter's up and running. I should also be on Twitch, Q Talk on Facebook, my personal Facebook page, and YouTube. So do subscribe, help me out. Subscribe to any of those channels and give us a like. That's always helpful. Today is Wednesday, March 9th, and it is UFO Wednesday. Can you believe it? It was 70 degrees over the weekend. 70 degrees over the weekend, and it is snowing outside. Yeah. Well, it was snowing this morning. I know. 3 days later. Andy says Twitch is working. He's like totally shocked and awe. So that's great. So hello everybody on Twitch. Thanks for tuning in. Really appreciate it. Anyway, so, do what we can to keep warm here at the at the hacienda and at the studio. So today is UFO Wednesday. It is unfinished objects. And I've been asking for a couple months now for our viewers to send in their unfinished objects and allow me the opportunity to finish it. But in the last few weeks, I've been finishing my own projects. So it's been interesting. And I was thinking about it this morning. And, as much as I really don't admit to having many unfinished projects, is that really honest? I don't know. I'm not completely clear it's all that honest. But I thought about it some more and I was like, you know what? I really need to just suck it up and finish some of these projects that have been sitting here. And why is it that I have this tacky rhinestone Hello Kitty pin that is sitting here? And it has actually been in my box for, I want to say 3.5 years now. So does that really count with the COVID being 2 years? Okay, I'm going to only admit to having it for about 1.5 years. So I'm going to tell you a quick story what this is about. It's funny. I was talking to a friend this morning on video chat and I showed her and she's like, ew, what the heck is that about? I'm like, it's a joke is what it was. But let's back it up a little bit. Yes, she's Hello Kitty. Yes, she's cheap. She's rhinestone. She's plated. And the person who gave it to me definitely was doing the hee. I'm yanking your chain thing. But if you don't know about Hello Kitty and how Hello Kitty is pervasive in my life, you may have noticed along the way that a lot of my tools are marked with this pink duct tape. And actually, here's a good one that has Hello Kitty on it. So the story is way back when I was starting to teach nationally, I would bring tools, but then the tools would disappear. And so I had to figure out a way to mark it so that it became very identifiable that it was mine. And a friend of mine had given me a roll of Hello Kitty duct tape. I'm like, what the heck is that about? But because she saw, I love how things just sort of like spawn out of nowhere. She saw that I had a Hello Kitty Pez dispenser on my desk. One Hello Kitty Pez dispenser. Anyway, so that said, that Pez dispenser has all of a sudden blossomed into everybody thinking that I love Hello Kitty and that the next time they had an opportunity to give me Hello Kitty, they should give me Hello Kitty. So I now have 2 Hello Kitty Pez dispensers and this person gave me this roll of duct tape. Well, anyway, if you know me, you know I'm going to use up everything that I have. So I saw the duct tape. It's bright pink. It's Hello Kitty. I went, oh, you know what? I'll just use the duct tape to mark all of my tools. And lo and behold, I became the instructor with the Hello Kitty duct tape on her tools to such that when people walk away with my tools, other students in other classes recognize it and will call them out. So I always get my tools back. It's cool. I love it. Except when I ran out of the duct tape and actually had to buy it on eBay because I found out they discontinued Hello Kitty duct tape. Oh my gosh, I roll. But anyway, so that's the story of Hello Kitty. But because, of course, all these students see this kitty in all the classes, the next time they come to class, they show up with things, with gifts. Yes, I have a Hello Kitty wallet. Yes, I have a watch. And apparently now I have a pin. But the story behind the pin, and I will name names. Her name is Patty. She's out in New York. And she came to me with this very, very coy look on her face. She had this on in a box, right? A jewelry box. And she says, I have a gift for you. But before I give it to you, you have to make a commitment. I'm not going to give it to you without it. And promise me what you'll do. I'm like, okay. And she said, well, I'm going to give you something, but I want you to promise to make it into something else. You cannot just keep it as is. And I was like, oh, okay. And I'm thinking that she wants me to do something for her. And I was like, oh, absolutely. Sure, I could do that. And I open it up and it's a rhinestone Hello Kitty head. And I'm like, oh, but you know what? There's a certain part of me that really likes it because it's so stinking kitschy. Right? And she goes, it's not worth anything. I bought it at the dollar store, so get over the value of it. I didn't spend any money on it, but it would be really cool if you made it into something. Until you have to, you promise to transform it, so transform it. And I've been like sitting here staring at this piece on my desk forever, and there's a part of me that doesn't want to do anything with it because I just think it's sort of fun to throw it on my apron. You know, since heck, I have Hello Kitty, everything else, I might as well just have an apron with a Hello Kitty pin on it. But I did make a promise, so I am going to do something with this today. Yeah, what? So, you know, I love things that articulate, and I've been thinking about this for a long time, about how I would do this. So what I was thinking was that I would make a body, it's a pin, right? I would make a body for this, and I would attach it to the pin somehow, and I have no idea how yet, and so that it articulates and moves back and forth. And there would also be a tail on it that sits behind it, and I would make that articulate. So sort of the thought, okay? It's just a thought, go with it. Okay, so that's first. So next question is, so I've been thinking about the body, right? How do I want to shape this body? Do I want to do it sort of like this? Something like that? I'm looking for input. So if you're out there watching, do chime in. So my thought was to do a body like this out of brass because, you know, she is a little bit of a gold tone. She's not copper or silver. Or the next question is, do I do it like that or do I want to do it like this? You know, now I'm looking at the screen. I really think we're going to go with this. And then I would cut a couple pieces out of the brass and solder it on and make paws. Okay, so the problem here is I'm not a cat person, just sort of like I wasn't a dog person until 6 months ago, right? But anyway, so I figured I would cut a few pieces like that from the brass and solder it on. And as I was talking to my friend this morning, it's like, oh, you know what could be cool is if maybe I can put this in there. This is a, can you see that? That's a little tube set bezel. And maybe she could be holding a bezel. I don't know. And then, or I can put that like a little rhinestone, or I can make a tail and solder it onto the rhinestone. Or I'm sorry, solder the rhinestone onto the tail. I don't know. So I have a minute to work on that. You guys give me some input. Andy's following along the way. He is, of course, with me as he always is, in my ear, telling me what all your comments are. Right, Andy? I know I gotta check in on him every so often, make sure he's paying attention. So if you have comments or thoughts on how this should be, do jump in. I want to hear it and get those suggestions out there. Okay. So maybe something like that. Ooh, wow, look at that. I cut it like just, I know, I just sort of made that up. Okay. That's not bad. I'm pretty happy with that. I'm going to trim it down a little bit because it's just a hair bigger than my piece. Yes, I'm using recycled paper. Yes, that's a virtually ever crafting flyer. Speaking of which, have you guys registered yet? You got to register if you want those kits in time. So don't forget virtuallyevercrafting.com. Lots of really cool classes. Let's see. So I'm just trimming this down, making it really nice before I go and cut it out. Trim it down just a little bit. Okay. So there's a lot of you registered for tomorrow night's class. The glider class is to celebrate our 100th anniversary. I'm doing it as a free Zoom with purchase of kit. So if you're registered for the class, don't forget it's tomorrow night. I know, Thursday night. It's a little unusual for me, but just thought I'd change it up, especially since I'm going out of town on Friday. I thought might as well just do it Thursday night. Okay, so now this is just a piece of brass texture sheet. Scrap, of course. Because really, was I supposed to put real money into this? I'm not clear she was wanting that to happen. So I'm just going to use my curved shears to do this, make life a little bit easier for myself. And we're just going to trim it out. Like so. See, when there's a marker line on it, it really, for me, just throws my eye. So I always like to look at it from the back. It helps me see it a little bit better. And so I can make my corrections there. If I want to trim it and touch it up a little bit. Yeah, that's pretty good. Okay, we'll file that because anytime you cut an edge, you probably want to file it to take down any sharpness. I know, this is going to go on an apron, so does it really matter? Well, you should make it matter, right? You always want to finish your work. So as you can see, I'm filing at a slight angle just to give it a little bit of a bevel. Okay, and then of course, that didn't feel good. Let's get rid of some of that. Get the edge really nice. So just a note from Andy, Twitch is working if you want to switch over to Twitch. Well, at least on his side anyway. Okay. So I think I'm happy with that shape. I am going to hit it with a little bit of sandpaper also, just to give it a really nice soft edge. Doesn't take much to do it. It only takes a minute, if that. Okay. All right, so here, what do we say? We said we're going to cut out little. So does that look okay? So what did we decide? Where are we putting the, oh, I know. We're talking about the rhinestone. Anybody have any thoughts on where we're putting this CZ here? In the paws or in the tail? I don't know. Is that big enough? I think that's okay. No comments. Really? No thoughts on this? Actually, maybe I'm going to pull out something that I can use. That would make this a little bit more regular. How's that? Let's see. I'm always trying to use what I have. Oh, I think I like that better. Okay. One vote for the pause. Okay. Second vote for the pause. I'm feeling the pause. Okay, so that's going to be the feet down here. And then now I guess I got to draw out like this. Oh. It's not bad. A little bigger. we'll draw this out. I know there's a lot of cat lovers out there in this group. Probably more so than dog lovers, right? I feel like you all have a cat. Okay. So we're going to saw that out because there's no chance I'm going to cut this with my shears. And so that's when you use shears versus a saw, is when you can't get it done with, for me anyway. A lot of people just like to saw everything. I don't. I like to use shears. I think it's faster and easier personally. We have a third vote for pause. Andy says y'all are cat lovers because you haven't met Titus yet. Okay, so I'm switching out my saw blade. I'm using a 2/0 saw blade. And then I'm going to switch cameras here in just a second. We do a little bit of sawing. So we'll saw these pieces out. Let's see. Here we go. Oops. Should be pretty quick and easy. Make sure that you keep the piece so that it's on both sides of the wedge. It gives it a lot of leverage and will keep it in place, okay? Or the V. Use the full length of your saw blade when you're sawing. And it is okay to cut into the wood. That's what it's there for. Okay, there's one. Don't want it to fall on the floor. Oh, it fell on the floor anyway. Okay, put that up there. Let's go do the pause. You know, it probably would have been smarter if I did it this way. You cut one, now that I'm thinking about it, and then you use that as a pattern instead of freehanding it, and then you'll have the same one. So, you know what, I can take a second and saw this other one. Or trace the first one and then saw it out. Duh. What was I thinking? So this is what you get when you do things live. It's unedited and it becomes what it is, right? And I'm sawing to the inside of the line because that is closest to the pattern, not the outside of the line. So when you're tracing a previous piece, you always want to do the inside line, right? Don't drop it. Okay, good. Okay. Okay. It is slightly off, is it? No, actually, that's pretty close. But I don't know, do they look like paws? I think they need a little bit more off. Let's see. Maybe I'll file it a little bit. Round file. I feel like they're a little fat. By the way, if you think I need to correct that in any way, just tell me. Remember, cats aren't my thing. Just Hello Kitty. And Hello Kitty's not a cat, by the way. She's your friend. I know. I just thought that was the most ridiculous thing I had heard in a long time, but that was actually the official explanation of what Hello Kitty is. She's a friend. Okay. Is it similar? Is it the same? What's the story? Let's put it together. We're close. Okay, I do need to trim that a little tiny bit. I also need to file this one. I'm using a round file to create that round edge. And then flat file of sorts to fix the other edges. Okay, so do they look like paws? What do you think, honey? Okay. So I'm thinking also to make it a little bit more distinctive, instead of making the pattern side out, that I would just make them plain and put the back side up. Wait, how is this supposed to go? Oh, it's supposed to go this way. And of course I dropped that again. Let's see, how about some tweezers? I make my life a little bit easier. Okay, so that's what I'm thinking. I'll solder it slightly off also. Then I can just trim this edge. Then I don't have to cut it now, right? Hello from Hello Glassboro. Hi back. Okay. Oh. I'm feeling like I made this too big. I can always trim it off the ends. Okay. Round the corners. Which corners? The paws? Are we talking about the paws? Or are we talking about... Oh, I know what you're saying. Right here, on this edge. You're right. Okay. Someone's telling me to round the corners. Sorry, I didn't repeat that question earlier. The suggestion was to round the corners and face it inward. You know what? Right. Duh. They don't have square paws. What was I thinking? We're just gonna nip it off there. See, this is, I like this crowdsourcing stuff. It's a lot of fun. Better? I'm assuming that's what you're saying. So I drop it on the floor again. There's the other one. I feel like I need to make this a little bit skinnier. I know. Why am I getting crazy about this? I don't even know. But I guess when I commit to doing something, I commit to doing something, right? how commitments should be. Never make a promise you can't keep. Never make a commitment you can't follow through with, right? At least you try. Okay, where's my piece? Okay. Did we decide it was better? Let's see, sorry. Focus. Okay. We're gonna go with that. Let's do some soldering. Oops. Switch cameras. Okay. Put away your mess as you go. Because you know, when you're working with 12 inches of space, it gets messy very, very quickly. Okay, there we are. Let's do it on here. So this is brass, so I'm just going to use a little bit of copper solder because brass is essentially copper, right? And copper solder really, the reality is it still solders to a tin color, sort of like a nickel color, right? So just make sure you keep it really nice and neat. Trimming this guy up, he looks a little bit funky. Okay. Let's go like so. Actually, make sure this is nice and flat. Let's check that. Not so flat. You can see a warp in it. I should probably flatten it. Same thing with all the other pieces that's been cut. Much better. Make sure these pieces are nice and flat. These two pieces sort of look different, don't they? They do. Fix that a little bit more. Again, I don't know why I'm being all crazy about this. There you go. So when you are using your mallet and flattening pieces, just make sure you're being really deliberate about it. None of these little taps, because it only makes it hard, meaning not hard on you, but hard on you, and makes the metal hard, right? So I'm going to actually do this upside down with the pattern facing down because I just want to give it some contrast. Wah! It was so funny. I was talking to this friend and, you know, I was sketching things out like this. She's like, just make sure it doesn't look like weird boobs. The things we think about, right? Haha. Okay, oops. See, I put it on the wrong side. Try that again. As we're watching paint dry here. I think I'm going to hang this off just a little bit. And then I'm going to trim those edges because I don't want them square, I want them round. Nothing wrong with doing it that way. Wow. Come on. Okay, so before I do anything, I want to see. Yeah, I think it looks okay. Not horrifying. And we'll go ahead and solder the tube on at the same time because I can. Put a little bit of solder on the inside of that. Try to contain that bleed. And do it like that. Good. I'm going to gently heat it first, just to sort of dry up that solder a little bit to keep it from bleeding everywhere like it is right now. It's just wanting to move everywhere and bubble up. So I'm just going to sort of dry it out first. Make sure I get that back plate hot and not just the top pieces to make sure that the connection actually takes. There we go. Well, I know this one's soldered. This one doesn't look like it did much, but hopefully this one made a mess. This one's okay. Give it a second, because again, it sort of behaves like copper. So you want to give it a second and move slowly instead of quenching it right away. Okay, let's see. Are we on? Oh, you are on. Woohoo! Okay, throw it in the pickle. So then what I'm also thinking is this tail. How do we want to do this tail? Largest gauge brass I have, well actually not the largest gauge brass. The largest gauge brass I have is 8 gauge, which is too heavy for this. But the next one is 16. If I had 14, I think it would have been much more appropriate. But we're going to go with this one just because that's what I have. Okay. See, how long was this thing? Where's my pattern? Huh? I lost my pattern. Okay, we're gonna guesstimate that it's about there. So suggestion was to use copper instead for the wire. You know what? That's not a bad idea. Thank you. Let's see. Okay, I've got 14 sitting here. Yeah, I think 14 would be much nicer. Good job. Thanks for the suggestion. Like it. I'm cutting off the ends just to blunt them before I churn it because it's just easier to do it ahead of time. I'm going to switch out here because I don't want to mar my wire. I'm going to switch out to my round and nylon nose plier. By the way, all these tools can be found on the urbanbeater.com. It's one way to show your support for what we are doing. Oh look, I found my pattern. And we do appreciate all the support that everyone has been lending us for the last, wow, we are officially, are we officially 2 years? No, in another week we will be 2 years. I know it's week 102, that's only because we skipped 2 weeks, right? But in another week, it will be 2 years. Crazy, crazy. Yeah, and they said all this was going to be over really soon. And here we are, facing yet another dilemma. Okay. Well, not going to put this piece to waste. I am going to make this into a half round jump ring. I'm going to solder a little half jump ring, half moon, half circle, or a U onto the back of the body so that I can hang this. I'm going to hang this tail so that it articulates. At least that's the goal anyway. We'll see whether or not it works. That's a different story. Okay. Let's go get our body out. Hello. Oops. I'm struggling here. Just dropping everything. There you are. Pieces are still on. That's good. Yay! So what I'm thinking is this piece, which by the way needs to be filed a little bit to get a nice flush end. Hold on, I'm going to file that first. Okay, just a little bit of filing, not a ton. So what I'm thinking is this piece will go back here, like so. And then the tail will connect to that so that it goes back and forth. Well, clearly it's too long, but that's okay. Maybe I just put it up a little higher. All right. So the next question is, how am I attaching this to the head? My first thought was, oh, that's easy. I should just attach it to the pin. But then I thought about that for a second. Well, if I just attach it to the pin, if and when I put this on an apron, the body is going to be shoved over to the side. That doesn't make sense. You cannot solder anything to this piece. That is absolutely for sure, because it is it's plated and it's set. And if you put a torch to this whole thing is going to fall apart. So I wonder if I can if I can sneak a jump ring in between something here and get that to work. Well, I already know that this is too heavy of a gauge. So let's go to 18 gauge. I'm going to make a quick jump ring here and see if I can make that work. So when you're making a jump ring, this is the fatal error of people. Notice how I made a spiral, right? And then I'm going to cut it, and that's how you get a perfectly round jump ring. If you only turned it so that the ends sort of meet, you can never get it round enough. So that's the trick. And there I have a nice jump ring. Okay. Let me see. Okay, so that's my half. We're going to hang on to that. I'm going to grab some pliers here. See if there's any place where I can connect this. I wonder if I move some stuff around. I wonder if I can move some stuff around. Wow. See, I don't think I want to just attach it to the bottom here, you know, and have it dangling off of here. It doesn't seem right, right? I think I want it to go behind so it looks like it's integrated and part of it and not necessarily an afterthought, although it is an afterthought. So let's see if I can get it inside. Okay. I just lost a rhinestone right there. She did tell me it was an inexpensive piece of jewelry, so, and not to worry about it. Ooh, I lost 2 rhinestones. They are dropping out like flies, but that's okay. I can glue them back. That's easy. There we go. Well, okay, so here's the thing. Can you see that? You can see the jump ring. It sort of looks like a funky nose. I said funky. Let me put this one back on. If I glue the rhinestone back on, will it disguise? Yeah, you can barely see it, so I think I'm going to go with that. Okay, so I'm going to leave that jump ring there because I totally struggle to get it on, so why take it off, right? So I'm going to leave that there. Put the rhinestones to the side. Solder this on, punch a hole, attach this puppy, and we're almost done. Woohoo! One more off the books, right? Let's go ahead and put this in here. We're going to use our pumice because, you know, we have pieces that are not level, and this allows us to be a little bit more level. And grab my half round ring, like so. We're just going to solder it right on the back like so. Dip a little bit of solder, again, copper solder. Remember, copper solder is self-leveling, so you just use the one level all the way through your project. Give this a little bit of heat, right where you want it. Unlike silver, you don't have to move it around too much. Good. There we go. And I'm just waiting and allowing it to happen. And you know what? I actually sort of like the color right now. I'm gonna patina this a little bit more because I don't think I'm going to pickle this. I don't know, we'll see. I know, she looks a little dirty, doesn't she? Maybe I should clean off the solder first. Just playing. Ow. Damn. Don't do that. Don't do that at home. Okay, so we'll take out our punch. Instead of soldering it on, I'm punching it because I want it to articulate. I'm going to cold connect it at some point here. So. What's next? Let's think about it. So we're going to do about there. Turn that up. So you want this part to be large enough that it's not held in there really tight, right? But I think what I'm going to do first is I'm going to put some steel wool to this and see if I can clean up the soldered mess that I made. Actually, I'm gonna sand it first. Put some sandpaper in it. Put a little grit in there. See, just when you think you were being so neat about your solder, you find little spots like this. Actually, I think I'm going to make my life a little bit easier. I'm going to pull out a silicone wheel and see if I can get that to go faster. So I'm just cleaning up the solder. Ha! It wasn't attached. Look, I just lost a paw. Well, I was about to say, I'm just going to clean up the solder around all the edges. Well, I did such a good cleaning job that I took it off. So obviously it wasn't on, but we are going to put it back on and clean that up and try it again. Again, it's nice to put it in the pumice because the piece on the back will then stay in place. Oh, for goodness sakes. There we go. Okay, try that one more time. You know, when you're soldering two flat pieces together, it's really hard to tell whether or not it actually soldered. And of course, you know, I get all ambitious and it's brass and copper and I just want to pick it up and quench it right away. And this is my tactic. I'm just going to talk it out to give myself a little bit of time. Okay. So you know what? I am going to file these edges, and if it survives the filing, then I know it's soldered. You know, the little edges that were sticking out from the paws, that's what I'm doing right now. Yes, I'm doing it before I pickle, because I just want to know that it is on there. Okay. Stick it in the pickle, attach all the pieces, and I think we're done. I think I'm going to hammer this to a little bit. It'll beef it up a little bit, right? So I guess today the UFO is how to make a tacky piece of jewelry more tacky. Sorry, these are the things going through my brain right now. What are we doing? So Andy asked me, are you going to sell this one too? And the answer is no, because this was a piece that was given to me. So no, not selling it. Just saying. Okay. But, you know, what a fun challenge. I'm always up for a challenge. You know, anybody who wants to present a challenge to me, I'm in. Because why not? If you don't challenge yourself to stretch out of your box, then you don't grow. I don't know where I've grown with this piece, but it's fun. How's that? It was just fun. So I'm just going to clean the inside here, give it some reflective value, maybe a little bit. using one of my scratch brushes. Not bad. We'll go with it. I don't think I'm going to patina it because, you know, this one is so shiny. She needs a little shine to go with it. Okay, what else am I doing? Oh, I'm attaching this to the back side. Yes, that's on. Woohoo! Something worked. It's a good thing. Ooh. Which way do you go? You go this way. Right? So you see where that's going? Wait, I'll hold it up. I'll hold it up here. See? But I'm thinking it's a little long, right? Let's trim that up again. And all I'm saying in my head right now is, dear God, please don't let it be too short. Okay, so make sure you complete your circle and then pull it aside because you're not going to be able to complete that circle from, from the back. I'm doing this backwards, sorry. Why can't I think of this? Oh, I did. Seriously, did I really cut that too short? Did I really? It is not possible. Wait. Ugh! Wait! No, I'm not giving in on this. There. I'm going with that. Andy's yelling too short in my ear. I'm going to turn this a little bit. There we go. Do we like it? Is that tail okay? I feel like it's bent a little weird. Let's bend it out this way. Andy says it's pretty evident that I don't like cats. Now, I'm just highly allergic to them, that's all. Not highly, but I am allergic to them. Andy said if it was a Maltipoo, that tail would be perfect. Honey, our Maltipoo barely has a tail, so I wouldn't be working this hard for it. I'm not even clear why Titus has a tail. His tail is so small. Better. I might, you know, because this is cold connected, I'm not so worried. I might have to add another, I might have to replace that tail at some point. But okay, so now I'm going to put this just right in between two bench blocks so that I can set a stone in here. Because, you know, I've got this thing on the back, right? So I'm just going to mush it in there and give myself something that I can hammer down on. All right, now I got to go find a CZ. Let's see, the CZ collection. Ay. Where is it? It is right there. A little bit of dental wax to help place it. Oh, there we go. I always like to give it a little tap with the back of my tweezers, and I always like to hold it up so I can see it. There we go. Put that away before I drop it. Take out your bezel setting punches. It was a 4mm, so we're going to go with a 5. Put it into your punch. Tie it up just a little bit and take out your chasing hammer or something of the like. There we go. I think it's in. I am liking this. I am liking the CZ. It sort of seems to tie it all in. Okay, so we'll connect it to the back, and we're just about done. I'm excited. Very, very excited to have this project in the books, or off the books. Done and done. Okay, until I do that. Actually, we'll just go from the back. Come on. Not so easy because these areas are really, really, really tight. Okay, I don't know if you can see that. It's really small and there's so much going on, it would be hard to see. But there it is, right there. If I can connect that. Oh, I knew it. This is the moment I decided I need another one of these bent nose pliers. Honey, I think your inventory just went down by 1. I think I need 2 pairs of these. Okay, it's just moving the jump ring back. Ah, yeah. See that? Oops. There it is. Uh-huh. I'm pretty happy. Okay. Not exactly what I was thinking when I first jumped into this 3.5 years ago. Had no idea where I was going with it, but she is done, and we are like coming right on 2 o'clock, which makes me happy. I'm gonna grab some glue these 2 cc's in, and then we're gonna call it good. Let's see, we'll use a little bit of super glue, right? To get the cc's in. And, huh? Oh. Thank you for the compliment out there. I'm glad you like it. So I guess this is my new apron embellishment. Why not? It's fun. Okay. So I'm glad you guys think it's cute. So that was a little bit of glue in there. We're just going to attach these pieces back. You know, these cups aren't quite, they're a little bit big for the CZ. You know what? I think they're too big. So I'm going to see if I have a CZ on the side. A smaller one. I know I have them somewhere. If I were a CZ, in Q Studio, where would I be? Huh. Wait. Did I find it? Oh, I know, wait. Not it. Those are tourmalines. One more place. Okay, let's see if I can find one. I know, I have a whole box here. A box of stuff. If I can't find it really quickly, we're just gonna pretend like I did. Nope, Okay. Well, I'm going to go dig for a CZ somewhere around here. I'm sure I have one. Or a rhinestone that's small enough. Don't we all have these things running around? You know, don't you guys save jewelry, inexpensive jewelry, and use it for things? I do, just in case, right? Remember that's that just in case kind of thing. Actually, you know, I think I can stick a CZ in here that's not foil back. Why not? I have the glue in there already. Oh, come on. It's upside down. Just go in. There it is. See, the jump ring's in the way. Ay, ay, ay. Yes! But I suppose no one would have noticed if I never fixed it. But, okay. Yay! All right, everyone. Thank you so much for your input. Thanks for hanging out, and thanks for liking all these posts and these videos. It's been fun. One more piece. Done. UFO done. Okay, so tomorrow night is Glider. If you are registered for that, we will see you at 6 o'clock Eastern. For everybody else, Deb Perry will be here on Monday, and she's going to do a PMC plus fabrication demo, and I will be back next Wednesday. Let's go see what other tacky things I can find in my box that I haven't finished. Okay, if you have a UFO out there that you would like to have finished, do send me a picture and let me see if I can get it done for you. I would love to see some more UFOs, or get some more UFOs to work on. All right. Well, have a great day and enjoy whatever weather you've got out there. Even if it's freezing, go enjoy it, because you know what? Being outside is really cool. All right. We'll see you.